put together, right?
Right.
And the idea is, I closed out the window. Here it is. Went up on Breitbart. I mean, it's super duper long. I don't know if we've covered it on IJ Review as of yet. But it's a bunch of conservatives have gotten together as kind of their what they see as the mandate that the Republicans have. Okay, and it's conservatives. It's not people in the House. So it's guys like Andrew McCarthy and Brad Thor, Ken Blackwell, Phyllis Schlafly, Bill Boykin, Brent Bozell, guys like that, right?
Kind of a semi-all-star team of conservatives.
An all-star team of conservatives. Now, here's what they're saying: they're saying that the citizenry expects an end to Obama's promised fundamental transformation of America, stop to overreaches by the executive branch, restoration of constitutional balance of power amongst the three branches of government, stop the president's executive amnesty initiatives, holding the executive branch accountable for abuses of power, and a new beginning that puts the interests of the United States first among nations.
And you know what? I mean, excuse me. If you didn't, I would hope that in this country, except for the whacked out left and the whacked out right, if you asked, give them, 10% total, maybe 20. If you ask the other 80 or 90%, regardless, don't label, the politics of whomever suggested that, would they not agree with that fundamentally? If not, we're really on a slippery slope.
Oh, absolutely. If you just ask Americans, hey, do you think the executive branch should be stopped from overreaching its power, that the Constitution should be restored in terms of balance of power, that the Affordable Care Act should be ended, that presidents should have the ability to write, just say it. The president. I mean, if you ask the questions like that, I'd guess you'd be in the 70% range.
And even if you left out the Affordable Care Act thing, because that would be kind of a hint that who we're talking about, but the rest of the stuff, yes. And if not, move to I don't know, Venezuela, Russia now, where Putin's doing all he can to, at least in his mind, restore the Soviet Union. Yeah, any patriotic American, and maybe I exclude most of liberals when I say that, and I'm being somewhat facetious, that wouldn't buy that, again, like I said, that would be a very ominous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I see about this, there's one little thing, and it's very easy for me sitting here to criticize it, of course.
Right.
Is it's a lot of stops and don'ts and completes, and I mean it's a lot of hey, they're really bad and we need to stop those things.
Right. And we got to move on from there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously this past election was not a we love conservative policies. This last election was we are not a fan of the policies that are going on right now. But that's not a way to build a movement.
No, and we've said it multiple times on the show. Republicans did not resoundingly win, if they won at all, the 2014 midterms. Democrats got their asses handed to them, not by the Republicans, but by the country, because of just avid opposition to the failed policies of Barack Obama. So to your point, okay, fine. Step one, disavow, condemn, criticize the policies that caused the Democrats to get their asses handed to them. But more importantly, step two, tell us what you're going to do differently, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What's positive in the future? And it makes me think, it hasn't gone up. You know what? We can talk about it tomorrow. But I wrote another article this morning that's sitting in queue that is along. It's kind of along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hit it tomorrow after it goes up, but that is the most essential thing going forward, is cast out a vision so that people can get behind it and pursue it.
See, this is where I think Boehner sucks. Was it yesterday or this morning? I think it was yesterday, right? A typical Boehner. He comes out and speech on in the House, lambasting once again Obama. I've said in the past he goes all Barney Fife, puffs out his chest. And then historically, nothing. And, if anything, like I've also said, he's folded up like a cheap tent to Obama. This is a 2-year window, man. And if Republicans want to win, because they cannot count on Democrats losing again in 2016, irrespective of the White House, losing again in 2016, the senatorial map, if you look at it in terms of who's up for re-election and who's not, does favor Democrats in Democrat states. So, yeah, dude, I mean, there's 2 years where's the beef thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah. All right, so you also have...
I want to interrupt with this, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this just came across. This just came across my news feed, published this morning, Insider Fox News. Duke University on Friday mornings is now going to, across the campus, sound the Muslim call to prayer.
I saw that last night. I mean, just repeat that for people who might have thought, huh?
I'm just going to read it. Duke University raised some eyebrows this week with an announcement that the university will sound the Muslim call to prayer on Fridays.
Okay, so if that's not like you and I talk about stuff like, dude, this has to be from The Onion, right? I mean, how incredible is that?
The Muslim chaplain at Duke said this: the Adhan, which is the call to prayer, that brings Muslims back to their purpose in life, which is to worship God, and serves as a reminder to serve our brothers and sisters in humanity. The collective Muslim community is truly grateful and excited about Duke's intentionality towards religious and cultural diversity. It's going to be ringing from the chapel bell tower, and it's kind of a recognizable landmark. The chapel's associate dean for religious life said, "This opportunity represents a larger commitment to religious pluralism that is at the heart of Duke's mission. It connects the university to national trends in religious accommodation." I'm sorry, Duke's mission is... The heart of Duke's mission is a larger commitment to religious pluralism? Are you kidding me? I thought Duke's commitment is to educate the students on campus.
This makes my head explode. Like I said, when I first read it, I just could not frickin' believe it, although I obviously I could, taken in that context. So, I mean, back to our conversation just about pork, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So where has been this outreach, if you will, towards Judaism, right? This again, I just I'm worked up. I mean, it makes my head explode.
Well, apparently the Jews and the Christians and the Buddhists and the whatever elseist, they go about their worship business without needing a public call to prayer, I guess, whereas the Muslim, like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, right. So you could just imagine something as simple as the Lord's Prayer on Friday morning being broadcast from the bell tower, or some quote from Pope Francis or whatever. The entire left-wing community, I mean, the atheist groups, would just be beside themselves. Where are the atheist groups on this?
Well, is Duke a public university?
Well, I do not know. But, irrespective of that, or as they say in southern Indiana, irregardless of that. So what? I mean, it should make no difference either way. Should make no difference either way.
No, none whatsoever. You're absolutely right about that.
God, that makes my head explode.
It makes, here's the thing, is that you do what you're going to do. That's fine. I don't really care about that. But this kind of thing, and I'll tell you this, man, this was kind of freaky. When I adopted number 5 kiddo, Ray Ray, she turns 8 at the end of this month. So
a pretty little girl, by the way.
Pretty little girl. This past August was 7 years ago that I was in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And Ethiopia, the Orthodox Church there is one of the oldest on the planet Earth. They connect themselves all the way back to Queen of Sheba with Solomon. Queen of Sheba in the Old Testament was Ethiopian. Okay. I don't know if you're aware of that. Anyway, so they have this ancient religious tradition. However, Muslims are making a very big it's a big deal in Ethiopia. And from the balcony, the hotel room that I was in, I could look out and I could see quite a few mosques. And at I think the first call to prayer was at like 5 a.m.
Right.
And Addis Ababa is kind of in a little bit of a valley. And it's quite elevated, so it's very green, and it's I don't know, it's at like 5,000-6,000 feet above sea level. So it's not like even though it's in the Horn of Africa, it's not like dry desert, right?
Right.
So it's quite pretty. But I got to tell you, man, over these loudspeakers, super duper loud, echoing. Throughout the valley, through the city, multiple mosques, those loudspeakers doing the call to prayer. Dude, I found it eerie.
And dude, not you, dude, but dudes, or more properly, listeners, if you've not heard that, I would suggest that you Google the Muslim call to prayer and listen to it. And listen, that's fine, okay? That's fine. Here's the deal, though. Where's Duke instead of we got to make religious tolerance and blah 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 blah. Why not then say, okay, every like on I don't know how many religions they accuse include. I would just just to start off, probably 3, right? Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Just alternate those. One Friday morning you do the call of prayer, the next and then subsequent, then you do their stuff. So that's why, again, the hypocrisy of this is astounding. And one wonders, at least this one wonders, what the Muslim population of Duke University?
That's a very good question, and I could see it. On Friday morning we've got the call to prayer. Next Friday we've got Onward Christian Soldiers. The next Friday.
Well, I mean, something.
You'd play "Imagine" by John Lennon, probably.
Well, that's a good point. And then some atheist hymn. I mean, we should get everybody in there.
Now, remember, I forget what it was. Didn't at some point the president say the Muslim call to prayer? He has fond memories of that as a. What was the quote? That it was one of the most beautiful sounds.
He actually, I don't know the quote either, but I do remember reading that.
Oh, you know what? Here it is. I just found it on American Thinker. One of
dude, go for it.
He said it's one of the most beautiful, one of the sweetest sounds of his life is the Muslim call to prayer.
Yeah, I'm sure. And, good for him, man. Hey, this has been a great show, dude. We're coming up on 30 seconds left.
All right, we'll finish this out, Michael.
All right, listen, again, if you like what we do, if you like what we say, then tell your friends, Dan Fitzgerald and others. This is The Right Mike's, Mike Miller, Michael Howsam. Have a good rest of the day. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same station. Hope you're here as well. We're out.
This This show is produced by IJReview.com.